Where do we begin? Okay, so if you're watching this, then you probably follow me or know me, or someone told you to watch this, or if you don't know me, I guess I'll give a quick intro of myself. But I'm Aisha. I am 28 years old. I live in Brooklyn, New York. I've lived here for 7 years. I work in marketing. I have a dog named Sunny. And just a couple months ago, the reason of this video, I found out that I am expecting a child. Unexpectedly, very unexpectedly. So I just recently shared it with the world. I mean, my Instagram, on my Instagram. But I had shared it with my friends and my close friends and family. I guess I just wanted to kind of give a little rundown of like what the vibe is, what's happening, how I made my decision, just because I'm really hoping that this could help somebody who is in a situation like I was, because I didn't have a really easy, it just was not an easy decision for me. It's probably the hardest decision I've ever made in my entire life. And I know that might not be the case for everybody. It might be easier or harder, whatever, to make a decision. But for me, it was like very challenging. I was constantly up and down, call it hormones, call it whatever, but I just did not know what to do. And I struggled with it for a bit and still honestly feel a lot of like weird feelings about the entire situation, because this is not what I had anticipated for my life, not what I planned. And I'm very much type A, I'm very much a planner. I've always played by the rules. And so for things to have gone so far off chart, or like what I had thought was going to happen for my life, really just threw me for a loop, and I truly did not know how I was going to react. So I do have some questions here from an Instagram question box that I put up, so I'll kind of like go through some of these as I just tell my story, but I guess I'll start by just telling you like how we got here. I guess we can start with that, and then we can go through some questions. Let's get into it, I guess. Basically, if you had asked me at any other point in my life, like, do you ever want kids? Like, what? I would have been like, no, hard no, no thank you, not for me. I just like love my independence. I love sleep. I love being able to do whatever I want when I want. I honestly had no interest in getting married, having a husband, having children. I think kids are great. I have friends who have kids, and I think that they're adorable, sweet, cute, and I'm so happy for them, but it just like did not ever seem like it was something I would ever do, or that I wanted anything to do. I didn't want to have any part in it. I was like, nope, I'm good. I'll just be like the fun, crazy aunt who comes from like New York and like brings lavish gifts, and like that'll be enough for me. And so that was like always where I thought I was gonna sit on the spectrum. I was like, this will never change. This is who I am, whatever, that's it. Like, don't ask me again, you know? And so, as you can imagine, when I found out, I was very shocked. It just, again, like, I was just like, how could somebody who's like so not about this end up in this situation, right? Like, I think I was just so angry to even have to be in a situation where I had to choose and decide what I wanted to do, because again, like, it's just not really a fun situation to be in for anybody, especially if it's not something you've been working towards, or planning. It's just very jarring, to be honest. Basically, and I'm not in a relationship. I was not in a relationship when this happened. I was just being super casual. Obviously with COVID, I was like barely seeing anybody, being really careful. And I guess all I'll say is all it takes is one time. That's all it takes. I've been like risky before in the past and gotten away unscathed. So I think I kind of just got a little comfortable. I've been on birth control since I was 16 years old. I was on the pill since I was 16, but wasn't on the pill for the entire year of COVID, of course, naturally. Just because like I missed my appointment, I ended up relapsing on my pill, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get an IUD like as soon as COVID is over, and I'll like schedule an appointment, and it'll be good and great, and I'll have an IUD and I'll be safe for the rest of my life. That's what I thought. So I was risky. Like, basically one time I literally have a jar of condoms like right here in my bedroom. So I'm very much about safe sex, and I think that all of you should be as well. Like, use me as an example. You can never be too careful and safe, but I wasn't, like, one time, and genuinely, like, I'm just here to tell you that's like all it takes. Just once, just one time. So be careful if you don't want a kid and you don't want to end up in the situation or to have to make a decision to choose, because all it takes is once. Poster child. It's literally that scene in Mean Girls where the coach is like, if you have sex, or he's like, don't have sex or you'll get pregnant and die. Like, that's just me telling you, like, you might get pregnant. It's always and even if you're on birth control, even if you are using a condom, anytime you have sex, you're risking a pregnancy. So just a big reminder for everybody, it can always happen anytime. So plan accordingly. The thing that's really funny about this is I was risky with the guy that I was casually seeing, and I knew that I was like, I cannot fuck around like that. Like, I have to be really careful. So actually, like, right after he left for his trip, I went to the gynecologist to get an IUD. So what they do then is they check you. They actually do a sonogram to make sure your uterus is like good and you're actually like able to get an IUD. And they were like, yep, it's all clear. Everything's good. You're like all set. And this must have been like a week after I conceived. And so obviously nothing was going on in there yet, and I didn't even register as like a pregnancy when they tested me. So I was like cocky, I was like, cool, I got away unscathed, like no worries, like we're all set. So they're like, when you get your period, come in and we'll like put your IUD in and you'll be good. I was like, amazing, I'll be back next month, get this IUD in, and I can just go about my like regular life. Girlfriend had something coming for her, a little bit of a reality check, a little slap in the face, little you know, love note from the universe. It's just crazy. But I didn't get my period that next month, and I was like, and I was just feeling so off. I was like feeling super tired, like I was feeling nauseous, like I just did not feel like myself. Didn't at all. And so I took a pregnancy test. Oh, I was like, I threw up after eating sushi at one point. I was like, what is going on? Like, this doesn't happen to me. I just felt super off. So my period didn't come, and I was like, I guess I should like take a pregnancy test just in case. And I was just thinking like, maybe I'm just stressed, because at the time I was like, there was a lot going on, and so I was like, maybe I'm just feeling stressed, like, you know, it's probably nothing. Like, I've had pregnancy scares before and it was nothing. So I was like, I'm just stressing myself out. And I took a pregnancy test and I flipped it over and like walked away, and I was like, it'll be fine, like I'm just being crazy. Flip it over and it was like pregnant. It was one of the ones that like write it out, and I was like, I'm sorry, who? I was like, excuse me? Like, I was like truly offended. I didn't cry. I didn't like, I was just like, oh, okay, like that's interesting. Like, I just didn't even have a reaction. Like, I didn't even know how to feel. I was just like, because it never happened. I think I was just shocked, genuinely shocked. Yeah, that was a really good feeling. So one of my friends, I called one of my friends and I was like, hi, like what do I do? And she was like, maybe it's a false positive, like go back to the gynecologist, because I was like, had this place that I could just walk in, and they're like, and she's like, just check, like get it checked. And I was like, okay, yeah, you're right, it's probably like a false positive, it's gonna be fine. Was not a false positive. Literally, they took the strip and like before it, like it barely touched my pee, and they were like, oh yeah, it's fine, you're definitely pregnant. And I was like, sick nasty, like that's amazing, like cool. Like, again, didn't cry, barely had a reaction. I was like, oh, cool, like, you know, like I was just like, like amazing, like cool. Like, you just don't know how to react. I was just like, okay. Next step, they were like, okay, let's just confirm that it's actually viable, because, you know, at that time it was like, I just didn't even know. They're like, let's just see how far along you are, let's see if you're viable, like let's just see what the vibe is. So I went and did a sonogram at this place, and they pulled it up, and the lady was like, okay, is this like a wanted pregnancy, like do you want to see? And I think this is probably, I'm like super curious, and I think it's a situation where it was like curiosity killed the cat. Like, I was like my own worst enemy. I think I was like, yeah, okay, like I'll look at it. Where if I was gonna get it terminated, I probably shouldn't have looked, just to like not get any kind of attachment or like not whatever. And I was like, yeah, I'll see it. I mean, it was like genuinely so small. I'll try to throw up like a photo of it. It was like a little tiny bean, which my family still calls it bean because it was so small. And I was like about 6 weeks along at that time. And they were like, yeah, it's viable, has a and the thing that really got me, which I didn't really think I was gonna have a really strong reaction to, was like I could see, you couldn't hear it yet because it was too early at 6 weeks, but like I could see the little heartbeat like flickering and fluttering. And I think that was like the moment I was like, Jesus Christ, like this is like a real thing. This is like happening in my body. Like my body just is doing this. And I just had this like really strong reaction where I was like, oh my God, like I immediately felt like connected to the situation. And I always, and like, so the doctor actually came in after I did my sonogram and she's like, so like, how would you like to move forward? Like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll have to terminate it. Like, and I was like, but if I don't, what are my options? And she's like, well, if you don't go forward with it, then you just need to make like an appointment at an abortion clinic and set that up. And she's like, I recommend that even if you're not sure, like that you make a couple of appointments anyway so that you have them just in case. And I was like, okay, sounds good. And then she's like, but if you do want to move forward, I would start on a prenatal vitamin and schedule like your prenatal appointments and like at an actual OB's office. And I was like, okay, cool, thanks. And like I kind of just like walked out, and the lady had printed out the pictures, so I had like the little photos of like my little tiny embryo vibe that I had created, and I was like, Jesus. So like at that point you're just like, everything's rushing through your head. You're like, okay, I'm pregnant. How do I tell like this person that I randomly like hooked up with that I'm having a child, or like I'm literally pregnant? Like I need to decide what to do. Like how am I gonna, like what am I gonna tell anybody? You know, I was like, what am I gonna do? So I was just like freaking out, as you can imagine. I was just like, everything was just like running through my head. I just truly didn't know what to do. So I took her advice. Like I made a couple of appointments at Planned Parenthood just so that I had them just in case. I made like one right away, and then I made one for like a couple weeks down the line so I could like at least marinate and see what happened. So I didn't end up going to the one appointment immediately because I was like, it's too soon. I just like couldn't go. Like I couldn't bring myself to go, and I was like, I think I just need to think about it. I need to talk to this dude. Like I can't do it yet. Like I just can't do it. And again, like I think where I went wrong, if I was going to get an abortion, was to have looked at it, because I think from that very second I was just like, I just felt this like really strong maternal instinct. It's just crazy. Like the second I found out, I just felt like a different person. I was like, everything I had once said where I was like, ew, children, gross, like ew, like I was like, I always thought I would just be like the first step to be like, okay, let's get this taken care of. This is not on my plan. I'm not with the person like I'm like madly in love with. I like don't like want to be with this person. Like I was just like, so what, why? It doesn't even, on paper it just seems like a very easy decision, right? Like go get it taken care of immediately, move on with your life. You're like, go have a drink with your friends, go party, like just don't even think about it. Like that's truly what I thought was gonna be like the easy decision for me, always. Like I was like, I have my dog, like I have my life, I've like just started a new job. I was like, I'm just not in a place for this. And I just like could not bring myself to do it. Like I don't know why, because it's not like a moral issue. I'm not like, oh my God, like I just couldn't, I could not do it physically. But I definitely had ups and downs. Like I genuinely had ups and downs, because at first this guy was like super supportive. He was actually like, I really want to be a part of it, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, so I was like, okay. So actually closer to the second appointment, I was like getting really bad like cold feet. I was like, you know what, Jesus Christ, like I need to like get this like romantic vision of like how I think this is gonna go out of my head, and I need to just get this taken care of, because this is crazy. Like this is not my plan. I thought I deserved better than that. I was like, I deserve like somebody I want to do this with. I deserve like all these things, like, and I still honestly feel like I do deserve that. Like I know that might sound like entitled, but it's like that's always what I wanted. I mean, I never wanted kids, like, but I was like, if I did have a kid, like I want to do it by the book, which I'm realizing like doesn't exist. Like people get married, people do this with partners, they get divorced, people bail on them. Like you think like everything is gonna be like fine if you just do it like with a partner and on your timeline. You can't plan these things though, is what I'm like learning. So anyways, it's just been up and down, right? Like I'm not gonna bring this guy into it. Like he is going to make his own decision. I don't think anybody should be forced into being a parent if they don't want to be. So I guess I'm making that decision on my own to move forward with something and make it my choice. It is a little shocking to me how men can just get away with like just being like, you know, especially people who are like, I don't want to use a condom or this or that. Like, it's so easy for them just to be like, I'm just going to avoid responsibility. And it's like, imagine if abortion didn't exist. Like, I would have to saddle this on my own. Like, it's interesting. Like, that's a bigger discussion. Again, like, I don't think anyone should be forced into doing something they don't want to do, but if they vocalize that they do want to be a part of it, and they make like some kind of like commitment, like in terms of like stepping up to be responsible for something, I do think that they should withhold their end of the bargain, because it does take two to tango. I hate all these like stupid cliches, but it's true. Like, it's not, I didn't do this by myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that's a conversation for another day. Anyways, it was up and down. So it was not like a linear thing where I was like, I can't do this, I'm not gonna. It was like, it's truly been like kicking and screaming to the finish line. Like, but I still couldn't go, right? Like, ultimately it's my decision. Like, if I had truly wanted to go, I could have gone at any point to get this done, but I didn't. There was just like always something that stopped me, always something that didn't feel right, always an excuse that came up, so I didn't go. And so now, here I am. I'm here. I'm about 16 weeks along. I'm due in October, which was a big question that everyone asked, like, when are you due? I'm due in October, like early October. A lot of people want to know what the zodiac sign of the baby was going to be. It's going to be a Libra if everything goes as planned. And yeah, it's crazy. Like, I can't believe it. Like, I cannot stress enough though, like, I didn't think that this was my vibe. And I think a lot of people who know me might have been a little surprised, or like, just like, why would you decide to do that? I don't know. Like, I really don't know. Like, it, on paper, again, just getting it taken care of seemed like the easy option, right? Just go back to your lifestyle. I have like disposable income. Like, I have like total autonomy over my life. Like, I love my apartment. I love my life in Brooklyn. Like, why would I like disrupt that in any way? Don't know. Couldn't tell you. Like, other than the fact that I feel really attached to the baby, and I feel really, I don't know, I just feel like something's happened for a reason. And something that I put in my caption when I announced it is that like, a month before I got pregnant, or like even met this person, I was like obsessively trying to like manifest. I was like, I was like on the job hunt. I was like trying to figure out if I wanted to move or not move. Like, if you watch some of my past videos, you can see me like grappling with that before I even at all found out I was like having a baby. I don't know, it's been like a whole year of like just trying to figure it out. So I was trying to manifest some good shit into my life. So I found this like one thing, if you are on TikTok, I'm sure you've seen it, but it was like, I do not chase, I attract. What belongs to me will simply find me. And I was like telling myself that out loud, like in the morning, in the night, like just repeating it. And literally I was like, you know, maybe it'll get me a job, like maybe it'll get me a boyfriend, like maybe it'll get me whatever, some opportunity. Literally after that entire month of saying that, I ended up pregnant. So I don't know if, like, you know, maybe you don't believe in manifestation. And again, I was not like actively like, I'm trying to manifest a baby, I'm trying to manifest a baby, but that's what came. That's like what came up. And so it kind of gave me like chills to think of it that way. And I do think something's happened for a reason. And I do think the universe doesn't give you more than you can handle. I will go through some of these questions and we'll see, like, let's see. Okay, so one of the questions is, so yeah, like, how did you find out? So I was like kind of sick, like obviously I didn't have my period, and like I just felt like off, like I just, you know, you just like know. And I was watching some of my stories from before, and like I'm like complaining, I'm like, I feel kind of like shit today, like I feel bad, like, so that's kind of how I found out. And then also my period didn't come, so, and then I took a pregnancy test and went and got it confirmed. How am I feeling? Scared, overwhelmed, also excited, anxious. Like, I just feel like there's so many things that are uncertain. And like after coming off of COVID, like a whole year of uncertainty, it's like just more uncertainty. Like all I've been looking for is like stability, and I'm just like signing up for like another year of just like, or literally lifetime of like uncertainty. So maybe call me a masochist, like I don't know, but this is what we've signed up for at this point. So that's cool. How did I react to finding out I was pregnant? I mean, like, it's scary. Like, again, not what I had planned. Like, but I just truly had like no reaction. Like, I was kind of like just in shock. Like, I was like, okay, like, kind of let's figure this out, I guess. Like, that just like, my brain just went straight into like, let's figure it out. Like, it was like fight or flight, and I was kind of like, fight. Like, I was like, all right, we'll just like have to figure it out. Like, that's kind of, I guess, how I reacted. Someone asked me if I'll find out the gender, and yes, actually, I did do like a gender ultrasound recently, and they were, of course, the baby was like not reacting, or sorry, the baby was not cooperating the way it needed to, so they were only 98% sure, but I did find out, and so I'm just waiting for it to be confirmed to like share it. But yeah, I did find out. I'm way too much of like a planner to just be like, let's just wait and see what happens. Like, there's enough uncertainty. I was like, I need to know. So yeah, I am finding out the gender. What am I most excited about / nervous about? I think I'm most excited about just taking on a new challenge. Like, to be honest, like, I think it's really exciting. I also just feel like I cannot believe my body's even capable of this. Like, I have such a newfound respect for moms and like, and people who carry children or raise children, whether it's through adoption or like surrogacy or anything. Like, I just have such a newfound appreciation for parents. It's really just like not, it's everything's hard, like whether it's the decision to move forward or, you know, trying, like, you know, and there's so many people who struggle with infertility, miscarriage, like, you know, I think that there's just so much that comes along with it that it's so easy for people just to, especially people who like aren't actively trying to become parents or don't think it's like in their future, it's so easy to be like, ew, gross, like that's horrible, I would never, why would anyone sign up for like a responsibility like that? It's so easy. And I had that mindset before any of this happened to me, but it was like such a switch that happened in my brain like the minute I found out that I was pregnant, where I was like, okay, like I have like a mom brain now. It's like so strange. Anyways, I'm most nervous about losing sleep. Like, to be honest, like I don't know how I'm gonna function on like little sleep. I love sleep, so that's gonna be like a major slap in my face. And then just figuring out like my routine, kind of doing it by myself. I mean, I have an amazing support system. I have like my friends and my family, but like being a single mom, never wanted that for myself. So I think figuring that out is going to be an amazing challenge. I think it's going to be an amazing growth opportunity. It's going to ground me. I'm going to have no choice but to grow up a little bit. But I'm nervous. I am nervous. It's like a huge undertaking, and I'm not naive to the fact that it's going to be a bitch to get around that. It's like going to be a huge change, life-changing forever. So that's nerve-wracking. Everybody wants to know if I'm moving or staying in New York, and all I have to say is TBD. Like, I honestly would love to stay in New York. That is like, I mean, I love New York, genuinely. But if you watch a couple videos back, before baby was even a twinkle in my eye, I was already like, I'm over New York. Like, I love New York, but I also hate New York. Like, it truly is just the case. So, well, I don't know. We will see. Like, I want to be close to my support system, but at the same time, it's like, I want to be close to all the opportunities I have with work, because I'm gonna have to work and have a baby. Like, so I don't know. I'll keep you posted, but that is, I don't have an answer for that yet. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out, but soon. I mean, you'll find out soon enough, or we'll find out. How is Sunny doing? Sunny is fine. It's always a Sunny show though. Like, I don't think, by knowing her, that she's gonna be stoked. I don't think she's gonna be happy. She has like very bad single child syndrome. So I think that with Sunny, she's pretty good when she gets to know anybody. Like when she gets your scent, she gets your vibe. So I'm hoping that she'll come around, but I don't think at first she's gonna be very happy. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I don't have high hopes for that, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't want to like talk too soon, but she could be a demon, and I'm preparing myself for that. A question that I loved and also hated was someone asked me, like, do I feel financially prepared to have a child? And I think that if you asked anybody that, even if they were planning, they would probably be like, no. I feel like you always feel like you could never have enough money, especially when it comes to like raising a child. But I am extremely responsible. I have no debt, like I have a job. I have been able to save a lot of money during COVID, so I feel like I'm as ready as I could ever be in this situation. And I think I'm like privileged enough to be a lot better off than a lot of people who have to handle a situation like this. So I feel as comfortable as I can be, but no, I don't ever feel like I am very stressed out about the idea of like taking on all those expenses. I love things, which I've said before and I will say again, like I love stuff. And so having to change that I'm not excited. I'm not excited about it, but you figure it out, right? You adapt. And I think that is gonna help me too, because right now I spend a lot of money on stuff that I don't necessarily need. And so I think it'll be good for me in the long run, but painful. Very painful. Did I have morning sickness? Honestly, knock on wood, not really. I mean, I felt sick a couple times like when I first found out, and I've definitely had some bouts of it, but I've heard of some people being like hospitalized and like having to take medication, and that was not me. Like I was not like unable to move, bedridden, like I was for the most part fine. So thank God for that. It's been pretty smooth sailing, to be honest. Like I barely honestly even realize that I'm pregnant half the time. Like I went in for an ultrasound recently at a doctor's appointment, and I was like half thinking the baby just got up and like took its suitcase and like left. I was like, there's no way, like there's still a baby just hanging out. And then it was like a full ass baby. Like it was like a full baby, and it was like chilling in there, vibing, moving around, sucking its thumb. It was like, Jesus Christ. Like it's wild what your body just does on its own. It's crazy. What am I craving? Random shit, like oranges. Like, oh my God, the other day I like ate 5 navel oranges. Like I just couldn't have enough oranges. I love watermelon. Orange juice was like one of the first things. Like I could not get enough orange juice randomly. I never drank orange juice. Like all I wanted was orange juice. So the other day, bread and butter pickle slices. So random stuff. But nothing too crazy. Have I bought anything cute for the baby? So I've gotten like a lot of like gifts and stuff like that, but I only recently bought something like for the baby recently. Let's see. When I bought this, like I had no idea what the gender was, but I mean, I love the Ramones so much. So I did buy this like little tiny, it's the softest thing ever, and like I want one so badly. But this is like the first thing that I've bought that wasn't like a gift. I just love it. It's so cute. I just can't believe it. But I've been getting everything like 3 to 6 months for right now. Like I'm not getting anything newborn size because I just feel like they grow out of it so fast. And like this will probably, it'll grow out of it so fast. But I think this will be like something I can just like keep forever because it's so cute and small. I just can't believe it. It's so little. Anyways. And then I also bought this like tiny panda because I love pandas and it's so soft and cute. So that's like my one thing that I bought for the baby, but I've gotten some other things like a pizza rattle, like a really cute sweatsuit from Zara. Like one of my best friends bought me this cute little onesie. I just feel like I have like very boy style, so I feel like everything I'm buying is like boy vibes, or it's just gonna be like a cool edgy girl. So we'll just have to see what the vibe is. But yeah, that's like the one cute thing that I bought. Everything else has been a gift. So it's very cute and very sweet, and everything's so small. I can't even believe how tiny everything is. People keep asking about names. I definitely have a list on my iPhone. It's like funny because I had a list before, even though I never wanted kids. I always wanted to be pregnant, which is the funny part. It's like I never really wanted kids, but I was like, I always want to experience what it feels like to be pregnant. And I always just like love the act of like everything that goes around having kids, like picking names and, you know, buying little things and stuff. Like I always thought that was really cool, but I was like, the actual rearing of a child was like not of interest to me. So yeah, I definitely have some names in mind. There's a couple names that I was like, if I had a girl, like I like knew for sure I wanted to name a girl. Not any like strong contenders for boy names, but it's really fun to like look around. I definitely want something unique. My name, I mean, is not super traditional, so I want something that's like not very traditional, but also not anything like insane or like like crazy. I mean, obviously I know how hard it is. Like sometimes like every first day of school is like, what's your name? Like, how do you pronounce it? Who? Like I've gotten everything under the sun. So I'm not trying to like make my kid's life a living hell, but yeah, I am excited to come up with that, but I don't think it's probably, I'm not gonna like probably like share the name until the baby's born. I kind of touched on it earlier, but everyone's like, are you raising the baby alone? Like, what's the deal with the baby daddy? Not really like my business to share. I'm not like trying to like put this person on blast or really share anything about them at this point. That's on them if they decide that they want to be part of it or not. Like, again, like we'll see what the vibe is. I obviously know this is like super unexpected for everybody, and so I'm not trying to be psycho and like harsh. I just I don't know, and it's really like not my business to like share, neither would I ever want to like do that. So we'll see, TBD. But yeah, I mean, I don't ever really think alone is like, not, I have such a village behind me between my friends, people that I barely know have already come out and been like, if you need someone to pick something up from the store, if you need help, like it's crazy how many people come out of the woodwork and just like want to naturally help. And so I don't think I'll ever be fully alone, which is really great. Like my family is, someone asks, is your family excited? My family is thrilled. Like my family was like, everyone was on board except for me at the beginning. Like everyone was like, yes, Aisha, this is amazing. Like this is so great. Like I think everyone was just shocked that I was like at all considering having a child. I think everyone just thought that was never gonna happen. So they are everyone's very happy and very excited. Like my whole family calls baby Bean. We have like a group chat and we're constantly sending like memes and stuff. Like they've seen it since it was like teeny tiny, like little tiny round little orb. And the other day when I did my ultrasound, like the gender ultrasound, I went to a place and they did like a live stream and my whole family was watching it. So they've been great. Like everyone's been amazing. My mom cannot wait to be a grandmother. My parents are very excited. My grandparents are finally on to it. They're all excited. My friends are all supportive. So I really could not ask for a better situation. I have an amazing support system. And so regardless of whether there's a dad in the picture, you know, obviously I considered that. Like I never really wanted to not have a partner to do this with. Like that was like always like, if I ever do this, I would have to have a partner. But to be honest, it's kind of like an Aisha fashion to do this way. Like I could never see myself getting married. It's funny, like I would rather commit to a child for the rest of my life than commit to a man. Like I know that sounds crazy and maybe some people will not understand that, but I just like cannot even picture myself being married. But I also said I couldn't picture myself having a child, so don't talk too soon, I guess. But yeah, so that's it. Like that's kind of where I'm at. I'm sure there'll be more updates. I don't want to like give too much away, but I wanted to at least give you guys some like, I don't know, if you're going through this, like you're not by yourself. Like I felt very like alone. Like every influencer or something that I see that has a kid or any person, it's like it all seems very planned and orchestrated and like they're ready for it and everyone's prepared and like they have a husband and a house and like an amazing life. And it's like I was just like, Jesus Christ, like, you know, like I just, that was not me. Like I could not relate to that. And so I hope that if you're going through something similar, this helps to understand that you have options. Also to understand abortion is not a bad thing. Like I said this and I'll say it again, like it does not have to be this dark, crazy thing. Like if that's what's right for you at the time, like I do truly stand by, if this happened to me at any other time in my life, if I was 21, 25, I think I would have gone through with an abortion. Like, and that's just my truth. Like I can only live my truth. I cannot control what other people are gonna do, how you guys react. Like that is just how I feel. And so I am 100% about that too, like if that's what you need to do. So stay tuned. Should be an interesting ride. I cannot believe that this is my reality. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, oh, that poor Aisha is going through it right now. And then I realize that's me. Like I am the one who has like do this and live with the choices that I've been making. So we'll see how it goes. Stay tuned and wish me luck. And if you have any like similar stories or anything like that, feel free to share or don't. That's it though. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.